By the way, how should I address you? Would it be Mr. Zapp?
Yeah, that works for now.
Okay,
And what about you? Is it just Squirrel?
Mr. Squirrel. Yeah.
Mr. ZK Squirrel. What time zone are you on, by the way?
UTC +1.
Nice.
I'm in the UK. Um, yeah, about an hour ago, I got a emergency broadcast on my phone, like it was nationwide.
Oh well,
Uh,
what happened?
Wildfires. There's a risk of wildfires or something.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
the air
And
quality here is also quite bad because of the wildfires.
air quality. Where is that?
Vancouver, BC. It's a lot of the smoke is drifting east, but it's still really, really bad.
Yeah, I remember pictures where the whole sky was like orange.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like social media or maybe just me being more aware of things like this, but I just feel like it's getting like worse. Last year was worse than this year, but still, like generally, I feel like it's getting worse. Or maybe it's just I'm just more in tune with the news and stuff.
Mm. Right. So I think we'll begin. So yeah, thank you again very much for joining us. Um, Today we're going to be learning everything about Zapp, and so we have Zapp here. I think on the forum you go by Vampirot. Uh,
That's my co-founder.
oh wow,
Yeah, you could. I think what's my username on the? I think it's Italy Zcash. But yeah, that's my co-founder.
got it. So yeah, maybe I could start with asking about the team. Who is the team? Um, and what got you interested in building on Zcash?
Yeah, so Zapp was started about like 8 to 10 months ago. The team right now is 3 people, two co-founders and a developer. Um, I met my co-founder in university, so we've known each other for quite a long time now. And yeah, so it's a very small team, and we're all like really um, Zcash pill, as you could say. The idea behind Zap was to create a new wallet that at the time there was only really one wallet that was used and like the industry standard, which was Zodl. And we feel like the Zodl was made specifically with certain product decisions to keep it as bare bones as possible, and that's a good thing. It's like completely open source, MIT license, and it's specifically made to be as simple as possible, as efficient as possible, and I felt like that opens up the door for other wallets to come and try to make it more usable, or like try to figure out what are the friction points people might have, or like what are some features people might want to see. So yeah, so that allowed us to look into things like messaging and more recently like P2P spending without compromising on your privacy. So yeah, that was kind of the team and the idea on why I started working on Zap.
That's awesome. And what about like crypto in general? Do you have any background working on other blockchain projects, or was Zcash your first like step into crypto as a whole?
No, I that would be cool to say, but no. I got into crypto in 20 towards the end of 2019, and yeah, I started off working for. I've over the years I've worked for a bunch of EVM protocols, and yeah, more recently in 2015 is when I really got um, into Zcash. I kind of watched as the industry, went from trying to be the future of finance, um, when I say the industry, is not really, specifically Zapp, but more so just like crypto in general. And like I watched like the industry try to be the future of finance, and then realize, oh, okay, like no one really cares about governance. Governance doesn't work for most projects in its current sense. To then be like, okay, like what's working right now? Where's all the liquidity? And then everyone trying to become um, more integrated with traditional finance. No one cares about like decentralization and um, just watching all of like stable coins go from trying to be decentralized to purposely trying to be regulated so that they can be accepted in traditional finance. And yeah, that brought us to like 2015, and when I learned about Zcash, and I learned that, oh wow, there's like a coin that's entirely built on zk-SNARKs, and it's actually been alive since 2016. So there's like tons of distribution, and it's just the team is like really amazing, and it's probably like the best team in all of crypto. So then that's what really got me interested in wanting to spend my time actually developing in this project.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of smart contract platforms ended up going against the entire ethos of cryptocurrency. They kind of got absorbed by TradFi and all the things that come with that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
but I
All of
suppose one.
the
Sorry.
stable. Sorry to interrupt, but like all like any stablecoin that you can think of right now has a backdoor. They specifically have built it so that they can freeze it. I've worked with stablecoin issuers, so I know that in order to be regulated in at least in the Western world, and especially in the EU, you need to have proof to the local governments that you can, one, freeze remotely, and in some cases you can actually freeze and transfer in some of the newer chains and ones. So yeah.
That's yeah. It's a concern. Although, so there are some examples which kind of point the way to a alternative solution. Um, so it's called Sky now. It used to be called Dai from MakerDAO, and this is a stablecoin. I'm sure you're aware. Like it runs on collateralized debt positions, and it's in fact over collateralized with like a basket of different assets. So I think they use ETH and USDC and Maker token, I think. Um, and so this isn't like I don't think they hold physical assets themselves, but as part of the basket of their like collateral, they do hold these custodied tokens like USDC, where indeed they do have to be able to uh, like freeze accounts and essentially take people's money for whatever given reason. So I am interested in maybe like a ZEC backed stablecoin um, and the possibilities there. Maybe we could dig into ZSAs a bit later on. Um, but yeah, there are these algorithmic stablecoin alternatives. I'm not sure if you've checked any of them out.
Yeah, yeah. And you're right, the DAI is made by a basket of tokens. I wish I was trying to look up as you were speaking what percentage of DAI is made up of, like the word you mentioned, custody tokens. I couldn't find anything really quickly here, but yeah. So as far as I can remember, the number of the percent of the basket that goes with custody tokens is just generally going to keep rising, in my opinion. So I'm actually really interested in seeing someone build a ZEC-backed stablecoin. The question is like the Zcash doesn't have a VM, right? So you would what would you build it on? Would you build it on Ethereum, and then at that point, then you have to deal with like the politics that comes with building on the EVM. So it's kind of a difficult question, but I think something that could be explored, especially as Tachyon comes on, when we can actually have like higher throughput or and have like hundreds of transactions per second? So that's a really interesting question.
Great. Let's actually move a little bit towards Tachyon. So part of the features of Zapp Wallet is encrypted messaging, and I think you've mentioned it uses quick uh, end-to-end or hole-punched messaging. Could you give us like a quick introduction to what this hole-punched encryption means?
So yeah, well, Hole Punch was built. It's a messaging protocol that's run by distributed nodes or peers, as they like to say. You might have heard of the company called Keat. They were invested in by Tether not long ago, and Tether's doing this really big push towards like peer-to-peer technology. But yeah, so Hole Punch essentially is run by a distributed network of peers who can transmit messages. So Zapp is built on Hole Punch. So like to give you some context, if you are speaking on iMessage or on WhatsApp or Messenger, whatever it is, you are speaking directly or Signal. You're speaking directly with a server that holds all of your information. It has like a centralized ledger of a hash table of your name and your ID and your phone number as well in the case of Signal and Telegram. And they use that to uh, connect different peers or different users, and then they keep a direct connection with your phone. A whole bunch is different. It allows you to directly message another person's phone. And if the other person is not online, it uses um, peers. So your phone isn't constantly having a connection with the other person's phone, right? You might swipe away on the app on the phone. So it would, if you're sending the other person a message, you would send the message. It would go to another distributed peer who's willing to accept that message. You can opt in, and then that message can then be relayed to the recipient phone once they come online. So the idea is to try to give as best of a UX as possible, as close as possible to something like Signal or Telegram, while keeping it fully end-to-end encrypted and also distributed as possible. And we thought when developing this that this like really aligns with the crypto ethos and the cypherpunk ethos.
Definitely. Yeah, I think Iro is another project that uses hole punch, um,
Yeah, yeah.
and Zakara node as well, or at least experimentally now.
Zachary, I've not heard of them.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So it's the new full node for Zcash. Check
Oh,
out. Yeah, yeah,
oh, wait. This uses hole punch. Wow, I did not know that.
yeah. It's a experimental feature, I think, at the moment.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I've heard of
Um,
the Zcash full node, but I thought you were talking about a messaging protocol. That's really cool. I'll have to dig into that.
nice. Well, you were ahead of the curve, I think. Um, so yeah, just to dig in a bit more into this like messaging feature, I don't think there's any other Zcash wallet that has um, encrypted messaging in the same way. Normally, messages, if you want to send a message with a payment, it happens on chain. And so I'm not sure if have you looked into the draft zip for encrypted memo bundles. This proposal that aims to increase the amount of data that can be transmitted um, with a transaction on Zcash. And like, what's the rationale between moving the messaging off chain versus keeping it on chain? If you have any
Yeah,
thoughts
that's a
there.
good question. I think fundamentally having the message on chain is quite difficult. It's really hard. It's a really hard ask to ask someone to transact, sorry, to interact with someone and tell them, yeah, every message is going to cost you some amount of money. Sure, even if Tachyon is like super performant and the messages are arrive instantly, it's still very expensive over time, and we think that it adds like a point of friction that just fundamentally can't work with a messaging app. In Zap and in Zodal, obviously, you can still message someone with a transaction, and we have kept that as it is, and we think that that's still like a fundamental point of the app. You should be able to send a payment to someone and send them a message directly on chain and have it and have it like that. So that's not taken away, but we also feel like in order to have like a really good messaging app with like really good UX, that you just send a message, turn the app off, and it delivers, shows like when it's read or not, and having that just simply can't be done on chain, even though if you are compromising on using like an off-chain service.
Right. And I think another, I suppose, tech more technical reason that some people have mentioned is something called forward secrecy or perfect forward secrecy, where um, let's say your keys at some point in the future are compromised. If it was all on-chain messages, someone would be able to read the entire history of what you sent and received. Versus at least on the Signal protocol, if someone acquired session keys, they wouldn't be able to read any of the messages. Is it the same using Hole Punch? Do you know?
So the way that we use hole punch is your session key is not the session key. Your it's called a public key. Your public key is actually derived from the uh, the the private key of your Zodal wallet. So in the app, when you're onboarding, you first create the Zodal wallet, and then using the entropy from that, we create the hole punch key. So your wallet is always tied with your user. And if you were to, if someone was to like somehow know your hack into your wallet and then try to have the keys, they will have access to sending new messages, but they wouldn't be able to see your old messages because those are encrypted on the device itself.
Understood. That's super interesting, especially considering the recent uh, bit of palaver around Cold Card and how they generated entropy, and the Zodel response being that uh, they actually use, is it 1 or 2 bits more entropy than is necessary? I forget.
I
Was
also
it 200
don't
and yeah.
I don't quite remember, but I remember there being like some very like I remember people saying that it was like terribly generated entropy. The way it does it on Zap is we don't really touch any of the underlying wallet generation code. Our code is open source, by the way, and we're a fork of Zodal. So all of that is completely from Zodal, and everything that we have built on is on top of it. So our messaging identity is derived from Zodal, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just pulled up the post, the Zodel post. It says on both platforms, Zodel generates 24-word recovery phrases from 256 bits of entropy, twice the industry baseline, 128 bits, as was on Cold Card. So yeah, it's cool to know that Zap messaging or the Zap wallet like uses the encryption uses the entropy uh, that's generated from the recovery phrase.
Yeah, well, we're building earlier on. We initially um, wanted the UX to be that you first sign up and then type in like the username you want on the messaging protocol. But over time, we realized that generating the entropy from the Zcash wallet itself is just like so much more secure, and like dealing with having two different private keys is just terrible UX. We just eventually compromised, and we realized now it's like the right decision to just have one private key hold access to both accounts.
Nice. Um, so perhaps continuing on this messaging feature, um, so you're aware of Tachyon and how it will change the way people interact with their wallets to send and receive transactions. One of the main differences is that transactions will be receiver generated. So someone creates a payment request, and this request is sent via a private communication channel, and then someone is able to fulfill that payment request. And so with Zapp having already inbuilt encrypted messaging, have you started like designing around how Tachyon payment requests could work?
No, we've been like heads down working on some other features that we want to launch before them, but that's an interesting point that we will definitely need to look into.
Great. Yeah. So you mentioned that you're interested in having like usernames, someone able to like create a username when they first start the wallet. A couple of other wallets, take for example, Cake Wallet, Noir Wallet, have integrated Zcash Me. And if you're unaware, Zcash Me is like a service where you can link your um, Zcash shielded address with a username. And they also have Zcash names, uh, and they're going to release the white paper for that very soon. But yeah, have you thought about integrating Zcash Me for like better UX payments?
Yes, we have actually. We have actually spoken with the team, and this is something that we plan to do in the near future. It would just be like really cool, like if you're messaging someone, instead of trying to remember their public key, you just have like a quick API that queries the database and figures out that okay, this shielded Mark or whatever is this account instead of trying to figure out his public key. So yeah, I think that would be like a really big UX upgrade. We were specifically looking for provability with Zcash, me and Zcash names. And I think from our last conversation with the team, that's something that they are also working on right now. When I say provability, um, proving that this person, proving in a decentralized and trustless way that this person is the owner of this name, and that's something we would definitely want to see before integrating. And because we are kind of relying on like a single database to read us have like the hash of the name and the address. So having provability would be like a really big step and something that'll definitely allow us to put it on the Zapp wallet.
Nice. It's kind of I think it's such a plus that different wallet teams are joining the ecosystem and providing different features that people may want. So, like Zodl Wallet, which Zap is based on, is very cautious and I suppose conservative in a way, um, in how they implement new features like Zcash Me or anything else. Uh, they tend to like restrict what people are able to do for their security. But in some cases, people would be very interested in using like I suppose advanced features, like modifying the amount of confirmations for your funds to be spendable. Um, does Zap have a kind of advanced menu where people can configure things, move ZEC between pools, things like that?
Yeah, we have integrated Slipstream, so you can integrate. You can move funds between pools. In terms of changing confirmation and stuff like that, we have not strayed away from what Zodl provides. I think the one thing that we have done is we allow you to export viewing keys. That's something that I was speaking to someone a couple weeks ago, and they mentioned that they're building an accounting tool for Zcash where you can basically like help you file your taxes better. And also like I think it was like an analytics page that they were building, and he was saying that basically no wallet, not what no wallet, Zodl doesn't allow you to export your viewing keys for I guess it's like security reasons, considering they only have one wallet. But that's something we are adding in. Like there's a I think it was already merged in, but we just need to deploy it on the Play Store. But yeah, we allow you to export your viewing key, and then you can build your own analytics platform, your own tax accounting platform, and I think that's something that people would really like.
Nice. Um, just I suppose a bit of history or a fun fact about how I came to learn about Zapp. I think you made a post of making payments. Maybe was it in China, uh, where you had Zcash, and within a couple of minutes you were able to make payments for like cafe, like real world items, essentially. Um, and so I saw like this is a project where they're really focusing on Zcash for payments. And so would you mind digging into uh, I think it's your off ramp integration with P2P.me. Which countries is it available? And how does it work?
Yeah, so that's from P2P, we support UPI in India, Pix Brazil, QRS Indonesia, Mercado Pago in Argentina, Pago Móvil Venezuela, NIP Nigeria, and one in Colombia as well. I'm not going to pronounce that name, so I'm going to get it wrong. And also, this is something we have not said publicly before, but we are also integrating peer.xyz. The integration is pretty much done. We're just finalizing some stuff. So we will be offering Revolut, Zelle, Chime, and Monzo, and that allows you to transact between a lot of different, because just simply because Revolut offers so many different currencies. I think Euro, GBP, USD. Let's see if I can find it right now. AUD, CAD, CHF, NZD. There's a whole bunch of them. How does it work? So essentially, P2P.me offers what is known as this network of merchants, and essentially these are people who have provided a stake to enter and to become a merchant, and they're allowed to make transactions X amount less than that stake. So if you are, we in Zapp we offer on and off ramping. So if you're off ramping, you would send USDC. You would first convert your Zcash with near intents into USDC, and then in the USDC, it would be held in an escrow contract. The merchant from P2P would then you would signal like where you want to pay the funds to, either to yourself or like some coffee shop or something. The funds would be held in an escrow contract. Then the merchant would say and signal that they have made this payment. It's worked on a reputation-based system. So if they are try to be malicious in any way, they would be slashed, and then P2P would refund you. But essentially, you would post the collateral into the escrow contract. P2P makes the payment, and then the funds gets released into their account. So you're essentially creating a fiat rails through the power of these P2P merchants. And for on-ramping, it's the exact opposite. First, you would convert, you would signal to P2P that, hey, I want to make this fiat payment in this amount. And then someone on the merchant network would say, hey, cool, I can take this USDC. I like this rate. They would say, I will accept it. So then they provide you their fiat rail network ID. For like UPI, they call it UPI ID, and you would send them the amount. You would then say, "Hey, I made this payment," and then they would release USDC from the escrow into your account. That gets auto converted into Zcash. So
Wow.
for peer, that works pretty much the same way, but they use ZK proofs to prove that a payment has happened. So I think they use ZK email under the hood. So I don't think there's a stake with the way they work. There's no like merchant you kind of have to trust. They literally have to upload the fiat payment rails from like an email or something, and that gets proved that, hey, he has actually made this payment, and then they release the funds. So yeah.
That's amazing. And how long does this take? Like from Zcash to, let's say, I'm paying a merchant uh, in CAD. How long would it take from ZEC to CAD?
So from
Using,
our
yeah, sorry.
No, no, no worries. So for CAD, the only one that supports CAD from my memory is Revolut. So with Revolut payments, like going from Zcash to USDC probably takes like a minute or two, maybe quicker than that. And then from USDC on base uh, to have the peer network payment. It really depends on the amount. I've noticed that peer XYZ's payments are a bit slower than P2P's simply because of the nature of the payments. With peer, you have to actually upload a proof that you've made a payment, and then there's like some ZK circuit that verifies it, and then they release the payment. Just yesterday, did a payment to someone in Europe with Revolut for 50 USDC, and the whole process took 6 minutes. So that's including the near intent to base and posting the amount, having the merchant pay. It took about 6 minutes. For P2P.me, it's so much quicker. Simply because they just have like a really really good network of merchants, and these are people that are online 24/7. I've tried it in the middle of the night, and they're people who literally, I would say my average is probably a minute, not including the near intent. So as soon as it lands on base,
Wow,
like less than a minute, the payment gets released.
that's incredible. Um, yeah, it's really fascinating to see. Like these are things that we had been wishing for in the Zcash ecosystem for a really long time, and I think this is going to make it might be the next kind of uh, step. It could be the next leap for Zcash. Um, I say that because when near intents came around, that was like it increased people's access to private money, right? And like for the longest time, ZEC was isolated on a few centralized exchanges, and yeah, it was difficult to acquire. Near intents comes along, and suddenly people are able to, within a minute, swap from whichever asset and shield it. And now people can not only pay into whichever, um, like they can swap from or into any asset through near intents, but they can also do it for national currencies in a bunch of different countries. So yeah, I do think this could be like the next major step in Zcash adoption for payments worldwide. Um, I should give a special shout out. We've got Vinny and Michael, and they have created, is it OX Ramp Labs, which also supports Zcash, all the near intense assets, and I think a few national currencies so far. So yeah, shout out those guys. I think it's website services like these which are going to take Zcash to the next um, kind of level of adoption.
Yeah, shout out to them. I actually just used their app yesterday. I made a Pix payment to a friend and had just to see what it was like. So yeah, shout out to them. I think it's 0xramp.app.
Nice. Um, yeah. So onto maybe other features that you're interested in adding. Very recently, I think within the past week, 2 weeks, the ZSA testnet was announced. So does Zapp have any plans on introducing like a ZSA testnet feature where people can create assets, transfer them, burn them, things like that?
Actually, before even starting Zap, just to preface this answer, before even starting Zap, I was really interested in ZSAs. And I was interested in creating sort of like a Zcash identity linked to a token, and through ZSAs that would actually be provable and decentralized in that way. But simply, I've seen in the community there's like an apathy towards adding these extra features that might, I don't know, in some people's opinion, dilute the ecosystem and move things away from ZEC. So we've seen maybe things have changed more recently, but from my time of like checking around the forums, I've seen people generally not be that interested in ZSAs. I don't know what it is. Yeah, so that some we have not really explored this too much. I think ZSAs can be a big unlock, but there's also like risks that it comes with. Not risks that it comes with, but what people say, like it kind of moves um, the mind share away from ZEC. And I could see like nefarious people creating like projects that are not super interesting and would just take mindshare away from Zeg. So we have, in short, we have not really looked into it, and that would definitely change if there is more interest in adding ZSAs to something like NU7, for example.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. Um, or to put it a different way, no shitcoins allowed.
No shitcoins allowed. No, I didn't want to say pump and dumps, but yeah, I could see how people like create meme coins or launch pads with ZSAs. So yeah.
Yep. Um, okay, we'll try one more feature, and I'm actually interested to open the floor for people um, in the call to maybe ask some questions. So yeah, what is the status? Are you guys interested in adding Frost support? Um, one of the like whilst this um cold card thing was happening, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking people should be utilizing Frost a lot more. Um, like even like disregarding hardware wallets, I think the safest way that you could um, hold your Zcash is by yeah using it in a Frost account with several um, shares, threshold shares. So has the Zapp team been looking into Frost support?
Yes, actually, this is something my co-founder is really pushing. It's kind of dependent on how fast we can get a desktop app out. I noticed that a lot of people felt some apathy towards having their entire net worth in a mobile app that sits in their wallet that can be unlocked with their fingerprint at all times. So what we were looking into is using Frost 3.0 to have um, uh, basically like a multi-sig where you can using your Zapp account can spend maybe like some limit like $100 a day and with some timer, and in order to access your full net worth you would actually need to sign with both your desktop and your phone. We felt that having two like Zapp phones is just not something that people would be interested in, and like who has two phones, right? Not many people have two phones. So this is something that we definitely look when we have like a desktop app out. But for right now, we're focusing on the mobile app.
Good to know. Um, yeah, does anyone in the audience want to ask Zap a question? Um, you could put up your hand. I'll add you to the stage. We have a comment from Triple. Okay, John saying it's not a great way, but the RPC calls exist, though they may need to be pulled from Zcash carcass. UAs are long, memos are short, sapling is shortest ZADI format. UAs are also malleable, and the address set is arbitrary, so probably need extra steps to ensure no funny business. I think that's with regards to proving um, ownership of a UA. Okay, we have two people coming up, Vinny and Dre. Hi guys. I think we'll start with Vinny. If you want to come up, very welcome.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I just want to give a shout out for you and for Zap, because of the shout out you gave to Zero X Ramp. So thank you very much for that. It's really appreciated because we are kind of competitors at some extent, but I mean, we can be competitors in a healthy way, and I think it's perfectly fine for us to support each other because, in the end of the day, we are building useful tools for the users that bring more privacy, more sovereignty. So, yeah, man, I mean, I really appreciate it and I really respect this attitude. So, I wanted to say that publicly. My question would be, what do you think like Zap uh, differs the most from Zero X Ramp, considering you used it, and uh, any other vision for the future that you haven't mentioned yet and you want to share with everybody? Uh, just curious about that. And congratulations for the product, by the way. I took a look. I didn't use it yet, but I took a look at it and it's solid. So congrats, man.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I'll answer the first question. The difference is, so Zap is like fundamentally a mobile wallet, and Xerox Ramp, it allows you to connect your wallet with this web app, and you can transfer. So that's like a very big difference. And so like if tomorrow I'm actually going to a Zcash event, and I'll try to get people to use Zap, but if they're not interested, or they just don't want to like send funds from their like hardware wallet with their Keystone Zodal to Zap, then they can just directly use Xerox ramps, right? So there's like a difference there there initially. So and also you guys are a web app. It's like so much easier to just directly get on a web app and use it, as opposed to having like downloading an app from the app store. Also, like we're not on the iOS store yet, but yeah, those are, that's like the main difference. In terms of what we have coming up, we have a few things that we're really excited about. One specifically is gift cards. We kind of not sure what we're going to call it yet. We might call it red envelopes, but essentially, in we want to be able to send Zcash to someone who doesn't have um, any wallet. So maybe someone you meet at an event, or just someone that you want to send money to and onboard into the ecosystem, or maybe they don't even care about the ecosystem. They just want, you just need to pay them, right? So you can, we're creating this thing called a gift card, and essentially that is a Zcash payment to a fresh wallet. The person, if they download Zap, they can, through the onboarding flow, they can say, okay, I've been referred. This generates a brand new wallet using that encrypted that encrypted link, and it accepts the ZEC, transfers the ZEC into their Zap created wallet, and that allows them, and then they can do whatever they want with the funds, right? And then it deletes that temporary wallet that the sender has access to, and this is like completely
That's pretty
private.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very good idea. Yeah,
this is
congrats.
completely private. There's no connection with the sender and the receiver. Like the sender could tell that they have removed the funds, but they don't know where it went to. So yeah, so and that's like a really good onboarding step for people who don't actually have, who don't even care about Zcash, right? And then they might think, oh wow, okay, like I have some money here, I can use near intents, I can go cash out, I can do whatever I want, or maybe I can just, hodl. So that's something we're really excited about. Also, this is more further down the line, but we're working with, I'm not going to say who we just yet, it's too early, but we're working with a neobank card provider to be able to on ramp um, uh, uh, your neobank card with ZEC through near intents. But that's dependent on some admin stuff that we're looking into. But those are two features that we're really excited about in the future. Um, yeah, we're also adding support for multiple wallets. This is something that I've been going back and forth with my co-founder with. Um, Initially, I was under the impression that one wallet is enough. It's private anyway. Why would you need a second wallet? But I think there's like some power users that might want the ability to separate their funds and know, like, maybe they have like a stacking wallet, maybe they have a wallet just to spend, just to know like what it is they're spending. They find it's comfortable to have different wallets, and Visor has that already. So I feel like that's something people would be interested in.
Great idea. Definitely need the multiple wallets, multiple accounts. Yeah, we have Dre in the as a speaker. If you want to hop on, Dre.
Yeah, ZM everyone. Yeah, great talk, great space. I mean, I've been learning quite a lot and learning quite a lot basically, and some things have just been popping up in my head as to things that I can actually explore while I'm currently building the things I'm building. But actually, my question has always been and would always be about my region. Basically, I'm always very concerned whenever I see that there is an off ramping to um, my region, which is Africa, because I know there is quite a lot of um, I don't want to call it bottlenecks now, but then there's just quite a lot of issues that sometimes it might just be not very easy to um, make a solution that actually works, that works everywhere to work kind of in this region, something like that. So I want to understand, how does the off ramp basically for Nigeria, how does it work? Because I mean, it's just a concern. Like, I want to know how it works. Like, how does off ramping your ZEC to Naira, how does it work? Can you please just shed a little bit of light on that? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So for Naira, it's supported by P2P.me, and you would so there is a merchant on the other end. You would go to P2P.me and sign up as a merchant. There's some rewards that you earn for being a merchant, but you essentially you put a stake. So let's say I stake 100 USDC. So then that allows you to make payments. I don't remember the exact number. Like you probably can make payments up to 50 USDC per day or something like that. So you stake, you put your money in, and then on the P2P, that app, yeah, where you're a merchant, you would see payments coming in. So you would get pinged on, oh, hey, someone wants to give you 5 USDC and you have to send out 1,000, I don't know the conversion, 1,000 Naira. So all you have to do is the USDC is sitting in an escrow contract. And if you're a merchant on P2P side, you make the payment to the address that the NIP address that they want. And then if you prove, after you make the payment, you can accept the funds. If you are being malicious or something and the P2P networks finds out you're being malicious, your stake that you put in gets, you get slashed essentially. So from the flow from the Zapp side, I think that would kind of explain it for you. But like the flow from the Zapp side is, first you have your Zcash, you use near intents, you convert it into USDC on Base. The Base wallet is derived from your Zcash wallet. From the Zcash, you signal to P2P, hey, I want to make a fiat payment to this NIP account. Is there any merchants available? Yes, this merchant accepted your order. You send the USDC into the escrow contract. Escrow contract is just a contract that holds the funds that you no longer have, or you have. Yeah, you can't pull the funds out of the escrow. P2P has power to pull it or send it. You send it to an escrow, and then once the payment is done, the USDC from the escrow goes to the merchant, and then you get your payment complete. You don't have to. You can send it to any NIP address. You don't have to send it to yourself. You can buy some coffee. You can send it to your friend or whatever. So that's how it works.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that. It's just that well, I think I've mentioned this, that I just look forward to the day where we can actually spend ZEC directly without having to off ramp. To be honest, I really look forward to those days actually. But then it's all good, yeah. Thank you for the explanation.
Actually, to answer there, I saw a project on in the P2P ecosystem where they have a QR code where you can actually, if you are running like a store that sells coffee or something, you can actually accept payments in ZEC, and then it gets converted into Naira directly. So the person doesn't need Zapp, they can directly do it from Zodel. So something.
Yeah, that's something I'm actually working on with a particular product. Like, that's one of the things we're trying to work on how people can actually pay directly from their accounts without having to do any off ramp or on ramp and pay for whatever they want with SEC. Yeah, actually. I'm just saying, like, just an opinion that I just look forward to those days where we don't have to think about off ramping or on ramping to spend ZEC.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
All right, we have one day. Um, we have one more developer. We have Gilmore. If you want to come on and ask any questions, and then we'll close the call.
Okay, ZM, everyone. So, my question isn't like too technical though, but I would still like to, because I heard of ZApp from Square in the Friday lounge. So, I'm still trying. Is it more of like chats? Well, like, what differentiates ZApp from every other kind of wallet? Is it just the chat messaging, sending ZEC through like messages or what? So, I'm trying to still understand.
Yeah, so we are a fork of Zodl, and the realistic the difference is we have like a newer wallet interface, and we offer the on and off ramp without KYC, and also the messaging. So for now, those are the main differences, but we're working on other features that differentiates us.
Okay, thank you. So my second question would be because I'm actually working on Geo, and the friction I'm have like actually having is like having mobile Zcash wallet, actually having this kind of signing memo. Like, is there a way, or are you planning to make like normal users be able to sign in into Zcash seamlessly, or is it like would it still be the same, like sending a memo code, one-time challenge and everything? So, are you planning? Are you looking forward to like modifying your login with Zcash, like so other developers can actually like list ZApp on their platform and everything, so new users on the platform can actually find the wallet better?
I'm not sure I understand, but like the app is available on the App Store. We're working on the iOS store, but you would log in. You can create a fresh wallet when you log in, and or you can restore your wallet and put in your seed phase.
Okay, sorry. My question was actually like for like um consumer facing applications that actually makes users signing with Zcash, connecting their shielded addresses. Okay, my question is how would ZApp, would it still like be like other kind of wallets where you just check memo field and everything? Is ZApp trying to like add a kind of feature where it becomes seamless like other kind of Solana and other blockchains? Is Zia trying to like simplify it? Because right now I've not seen any mobile wallet actually focus mainly on this kind of developer tooling where consumer facing applications can actually like make users sign in with their shielded addresses and actually connect it without actually making the user spend like maybe fraction amount of ZEC and everything.
Um, when you create a wallet, it's completely free. You don't need any ZEC when you're creating a wallet, and also same when you're restoring a wallet. So if you already have a Zodl account with and you know your seed, you can sign into Zapp without any fee. So there's no fee for getting onto Zapp. There's no phone number or anything. You can directly sign on. I think you're asking about like account abstraction and like being able to log in with your email and stuff like that. Is that what you mean?
Okay, let me just clarify what I'm asking. Like, in the way we have Trust Wallet or Wallet Connect, where you see like list of different wallets, then you can actually use it to connect user address, and the consumer facing application displays the user address. Would the app actually do a kind of thing like that, where like the app can just send a kind of request, then ZApp just confirms it and sends the user address, the user shielded address back to the application for it to confirm that yes, that the user is actually the owner of this wallet address?
Um, so Zapp is the wallet itself. So you can't connect another wallet with Zapp. You can, if you know the seed phrase for the other wallet, use it to log into Zapp, and then essentially they're both the same. But you can't log in with another wallet into Zapp. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, I don't know if Square can help me explain it for you better, because maybe it can help you explain it better, because I'm not still like getting the answer
Can I come
exactly.
in? Can I
Yeah,
come in?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So sorry, I don't know, I didn't get your name though. But I think what Gilmore is just trying to say is a login feature where you can easily sign in your wallet on a particular decentralized application. That kind of feature. That's what he's just talking about. Did you get?
Oh, I think Xerox Ramp actually does this, right? You can log in with your Rabby wallet or your Phantom wallet. I think they are doing what you mean, but Zap itself is
Yeah.
the wallet itself.
Yeah.
Maybe Vinny or Michael can clarify.
Yeah, I think his question is there is that feature is not actually open to major Zcash wallets as it were now. And I think there was a submission during the hackathon where Zcash.me actually submitted a project that actually performs authentication login using your shielded address, that kind of thing. So that's basically what he's just trying to ask. And maybe he's asking if it's probably a future plan basically. So yeah,
Yeah, so to use our on-ramping feature, you have to put in the seed phrase. So you can't connect another wallet for our wallet. But yeah, if you want to keep your login with your separate wallet, then you can use like Xerox Ramp to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we should wrap up. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Just another special mention. So Zapp is available on Android, and I believe they currently have an open proposal for the Coin Holders Retroactive Grants program. And so yeah, I'd invite people to test it out. See if you come into any issues, leave some feedback. Yeah, let people know what you think of the app, and if you do like it, probably give a mention on the forum post there. Other than that, Zap, do you have any closing remarks, closing notes?
Not much on our side. Yeah. Do give Zap a try if you're interested. It's completely free. We don't ask for any login details, and yeah, it's available on the App Store. We are currently working on the iOS side. The development is done. I would say we're just doing some admin side stuff to get it up on the App Store. But yeah.
Great stuff. All right. Thanks everyone again for joining, and have a good one.
Likewise, it was
Take care.
great
Bye.
talking to everyone. Thanks.